Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Kelsey, the Education Manager of VEX Robotics, supporting educators in APAC region. Thank you very much again for joining our webinars. I know some of you have already joined our series of webinar last time for VEX Go and other platforms. Without further ado, let's start our webinar today. I'm here supporting educators in APAC region in implementing robotics, coding, and STEM in your school. We've also got Flora here today. Flora is our robotics teacher in VEX Academy, China. She has been teaching several of our platforms for years. She's got a lot of experience in teaching students in terms of the robotics and coding. And we are here today to let you know how to bring STEM to your classrooms with IQ. If you've got any questions, please type them in the chat box, or you can leave your questions in the Q&A sessions, and we will be able to address all your questions and concern in the Q&A session. And we will be recording today's session. If you would like to have the PowerPoint or recording after the session, just let me know and email our AP actual email. I will send our email address in the chat box, and please feel free to email us if you've got any questions about our platforms. Okay, so let's start with about who is VEX. We are a leading education robotics company of hardware, software, and curriculum that is used in classrooms all around the world. Actually, we founded in 1996, and we are now a leader in educational and competitive robots products. Our headquarters is based in the US, and we have 12 offices in the world to support educators globally. And we are here, I'm based in Hong Kong to support educators in APAC region. And our VEX family of competition is also the largest and fastest growing competition event globally. Currently, there are more than 27,000 teams from over 61 countries competing in over 3,000 tournaments worldwide every year. Today, we will be focusing on VEX IQ. This photo actually has been taken in the World Championships in May in Dallas. And a lot of VEX IQ teams globally have participated in this World Championship in Dallas. It's a pretty exciting event. Students got chance to interact and communicate and compete with students of their age around the world. Last year's the game is pitching in, and we have a new game every year. My colleague Flora will be sharing more with you the competition this year in later slides. We would like to address this VEX Continuum. We've talked about VEX Continuum for several times in our previous webinars. We have STEM solution for all ages. Our VEX Continuum supports school-wide STEM learning goals, either formal education or informal education in school or in learning centers or after-school activities. We offer this continuum through our hardware, software, and educational resources and teacher training provided within and across platforms. You can see we have platform for students as young as ages 4. That's VEX 1, 2, 3, and Introduction to Computational Thinking. It's an introductory level of coding with students as young as kindergarten level. And we have the STEM program, the robotics and coding, all the way to adult level, and even to students like ages 14, we have this metal construction systems. Students will be able to use real-world fasteners and tools. That is really a bridge between educational robotics to industrial level robotics. We've also got a VEX Code VR platform, which is an online browser-based platform, allows students to learn computer science and robotics at home when the physical robots are not available. They can use this virtual robotic platforms to understand, to practice the knowledge about robotics and coding at the same time. what we really wanted to emphasize here is the continuum and progression and scaffolding we provided students with. Today, we want to focus on this VEX IQ for students ages 10 to 14. This is a plastic construction system. It's a more immersive exploration of robotics, engineering, and competitions. Inspires students with a complete STEM experience. It can also lead to forming a team and entering the VEX IQ competition. That could mean a journey to our world championship every year, usually it's in the US. For this platform, we call it plastic construction systems, as students will need to build their robot and then program it using our programming software. For VEX IQ, the programming platform, it supports both block and text programming, which we will be addressing them in the later part of the webinar. Same as all our other platforms, we provided teachers and students with free online curriculum and resources. We've provided up to 36 weeks of STEM curriculum to students for VEX IQ platform. In terms of the hardware itself, there are two different kind of kits you could consider. The first one is VEX IQ education kit. The education kit comes packed in 2 storage bins. As you can see, it's pretty similar to VEX Go. There are 2 boxes, and in each kit, each box, there are dedicated locations with visual labels inside each bin, keeping it very organized and easily accessible. And classroom clutter is greatly reduced with organized part storage, and it's much easier for classroom management. It's easier for students to locate the parts. You can see a lot of parts are color coded. And there is an interactive poster, interactive part poster online. If you've got any questions about the parts, you can click onto this interactive parts poster and you will be able to find the detailed explanation on our website. For classroom, if you would like to use this for classroom, we would recommend this classroom bundle. Classroom bundle is an all-in-one classroom solution. It comes in 3 classroom sizes. They contain STEM games, kits, and more. You can select the classroom bundle based on your students per class. If you've got like 20 students in your class, we would recommend this classroom bundle in the middle. Usually we would recommend 2 students share 1 kit. It will allow students to learn collaboratively with each other. That's what we want to encourage here as well. And we've got STEM game elements and extra pin tools and classroom charger, which enables you to charge all 5 robots at the same time. That would be easier for classroom management. We've also got this competition kits. If some of your students, they are really into VEX IQ and they're capable of, competing with others locally or regionally, or even, go to our world championship, we would recommend this competition kit. And using this competition kit, it enables students to build the robots that is suitable for the competition each year. And I'll pass this to my colleague, Flora. She will be giving you a lot of examples about how to use VEX IQ to teach STEM.
Okay, thank you, Kelsey. And let me share my screen. Okay, so now you can see my PowerPoint, right? Okay. Yes. So hello, everyone. I'm Flora, the robotics training teacher from VEX Academy. And first, we are gonna talk about how to bring STEM to your classroom with VEX IQ. As Kelsey has talked about, for all our platforms, we provide teachers with lots of STEM lab units and activities. VEX IQ STEM lab units and activities are meant to offer you the support and structure that you need to integrate STEM learning into a classroom with VEX IQ. I want to give you some examples of using IQ to teach every single discipline of STEM. Let's get started from E, teaching engineering with VEX IQ. We have lots of STEM labs and activities that you can use to teach engineering to students. As you can see here, these activities. And we have three models commonly used in STEM labs. We have the BaseBot, Simple CloudBot, and CloudBot. Yes, and here is a practical example from STEM labs, Stacked Up Challenge. The goal of this challenge is to use the controller to drive the robot and stack as many cubes as they can within a minute. One of the key things in this challenge is the robot arm. Students will learn about what robotic arms are and the element of a robot arm and how different arm mechanisms work and what makes an effective arm design. Then students will apply their learning to stack as many cubes as they can in this challenge, as we can see in this animation. So in this process, students will learn the design, building, and iterating on their arm design. That's definitely the engineering knowledge and skills. They also gain soft skills like collaboration, as they need to work with team members to come up with and test arm designs. And in this CloudBot model, arms can be used as a lifting system to lift other manipulators or to lift the robot off the ground. You can also show different kinds of lifting systems to students to give them some examples or concepts that engineering, design thinking, different mechanisms can be taught with IQ. For example, we have the double reverse 4-bar and the swing arms, as we can see in this animation, right? Okay, and here is another example from activity. Experiment with different wheel combinations to find one that will enable your BaseBot to carry the cube up in the inclined plane without slipping. In this process, students will see how different wheel combinations and height of the inclined plane affects the BaseBot's ability to carry the cube. Okay, then let's move to S, the science, teaching science with VEX IQ. In this activity, students will see how far an IQ motion beam can be pulled in 5 seconds based on how and where a rope from the IQ kit was attached to their robot to create an unbalanced force. And the students will learn about science during the whole process of this project. They will learn about force and how unbalanced forces create motion and how force affects the movement of their robot. And they will apply this information to design and build a rope attachment for their robot to pull an IQ motion beam the farthest. Okay, another one. Place the wheel test card on the edge of a field tile. Gently lift the edge of this tile to create a ramp. Lift until the wheels lose their grip and begin to slide. Measure the height of the ramp, test another set of wheels, and the activity will help students test the grip of different IQ tires. The next one is teaching math with VEX IQ. We've included many math activities in the STEM labs, as you can see here. And for example, these activities called How Big Are Your Teeth? Asking students to calculate the pitch of the gears and the sprockets. And students will need to count the number of teeth and measure the gear diameters and then divide the number of teeth by the diameter of the gear to get the pitch. Teacher can also extend the activity and teach students about the gear or sprocket ratio, as the mechanical advantage of a gear or sprocket system can be determined by this ratio. Well, it's definitely teaching and learning of math during the process of comparing the number of teeth, diameters of gears and sprockets, and calculating pitch and gear ratio. And in this case, in shape activity, students will learn about triangles are useful in supporting robot towers, and octagon shape can be used for a drivetrain called an X-drive. Okay, in this VEX teasers activity, students will use their VEX IQ quizzes to solve some spatial reasoning brain teasers, like changing 3 triangles into 5 triangles by only moving 3 bins. The last one is teaching technology with VEX IQ. Technology here mainly refers to coding. When it comes to coding, we need to know that we have 4 different sensors in VEX IQ. We have optical, bumper switch, distance sensor, and touch LED. As we can see here, we have the optical and the touch LED in green light activity, and have the distance sensor in the at a distance activity. Okay, let's take a look at this activity. In this treasure hunt activity, the robot will drive to 2 different IQ cubes and use the optical sensor to detect the color of each cube. And if the cube is red, the robot should collect it with the cloud and move it to the home zone. Okay, students will learn how the optical sensor works and how they can use data from the sensor in the code to have the robot make decisions. They will also learn how it can be used with if-then and repeat blocks in the project to make their simple cloudbot collect a cube based on its color. The optical sensor can not only detect color of objects, but also detect the brightness of light. And in this follow the light activity, if optical sensor detects the light of the flashlight, the robot will move forward along the construction paper path, and the students can also try different light sources and path colors to determine how that affects the base spot's movement. And we have the distance sensor in the magic movement activity. The distance sensor reports the numbered distance between an object and the sensor. When an object, here you can use your hand, is closer to the distance sensor, the reading will be a smaller number. And in order to start driving, the base spot must wait until the distance sensor reading is less than 50% here. And add the parameter in the lesson block, like here, to start driving in reverse when your hand is close to the sensor. And the forever block here has the base spot continually checking to see how close the object is to the base spot. Okay, then we will spend several minutes talking about VEX IQ, the programming software for IQ. The VEX IQ is available for Chromebooks, iPads, Android tablets, Windows, and Macs. And you can choose between 3 different coding languages: block-based, Python, and C++. And in VEX IQ, we provide teachers with integrated examples, help, and tutorials that help you develop your programming skills quickly. And there are the features for C++ and Python. You can convert blocks to tests, and you can refer to the help. And then we have the drivetrain blocks, example projects, and video tutorials. Okay, that's all for how to bring STEM to your classroom with VEX IQ. Let's move to how to integrate STEM labs into your curriculum. We have already talked about examples from STEM labs, and STEM labs provide educators with free, easy to follow STEM lesson plans, teacher support materials, integrated teacher notes, pacing guides, and much, much more. We will talk about all these resources in the following part. First, I'm gonna work you through the VEX IQ STEM Labs page, as you can see on the PowerPoint. Here you can find the teacher resources portal and the pacing guide. We have cumulative pacing guide and one-on-one pacing guide, and activities portal, PD Plus portal, and all the STEM Lab units. Let's take a look at this pacing guide. STEM labs are flexible enough to be used in any instructional setting, like in school, after school, camps, VEX robotics teams or clubs. And for VEX IQ, we provide you with 8 sets of pacing guide. As you can see here, we have 36 weeks pacing guide, 24 weeks pacing guide, and 80 weeks pacing guide. Yes, and you can choose according to your needs. Next one is the content standards. Our curriculum are all standard aligned. You can refer to the website standards.vex.com to know the content standard and where and how the standards are reached. And for VEX IQ, there are altogether 22 STEM lab units and 1 activity series. And each unit has 1 to 6 lessons. The subject area can be categorized into 3 different areas: sensors, coding, and engineering. And the lesson content is designed to be student-facing and to enable the teachers to be in the role of facilitators throughout the unit. So students can directly interact with the content. And you may wonder where teachers can find the teacher's notes. Let's see here. In STEM labs, we have a teacher's portal for each unit. The teacher's portal can be accessed by selecting teacher's portal at the top of the lesson overview. As you can see in this picture, I choose the tug of war unit as an example. Here, teacher's portal. And the teacher's portal provides a wealth of resources for teachers, as you can see here. Facilitation guide for the unit that gives you guidance and supports for each lesson in the unit, including setup checklists, helpful articles, reminders, and teacher tips, and more. Pacing guide that we have talked about, materials needed, and standards alignment, where you can view a list of the content standards as well and how the standards are met. We have talked that before. And the debrief conversation rubric that you can use to ensure that you and your students are set up for success with the student standard assessment. And letter home that is used to communicate with your classroom community about what students are doing and learning with VEX IQ so that they can continue the conversation at home. And we also have the facilitation support and customizing resources. And that's all for the teachers portal. And then let's talk about activities. For IQ, we've provided you with 49 activity lessons. They can be categorized into 5 subject areas: science, technology, here refers to coding, engineering, math, and controller. So in contrast to the VEX IQ STEM labs, which provide teachers with complete units designed for whole class instruction, VEX IQ activities extend this learning by giving students the opportunity to make their IQ builds, codes, and kits their own. And IQ activity are designed to be used both in conjunction with STEM labs and as standalone activities themselves. For more information about what activities to use in sequence with the STEM labs that you are teaching, you can check out the cumulative pacing guide and one-on-one pacing guide that we have mentioned before. And all of the VEX IQ activity can be found at the top of the VEX IQ STEM lab page that we have talked about. And each activity is one-page Google Doc. That means you can download and print it out. Activities are continually updated and added on, so please check back for new IQ activities throughout the school year. Okay, next I want to share something about VEX IQ competition, also called VIQC with you. VEX IQ competitions are held locally, regionally, and nationally throughout the year in cities around the world. And we have the world's largest robotics competition and VEX Worlds each April. Maybe some teachers want to know where you can find competition opportunities. You can visit the VIQC section of robotevents.com to find VIQC event in your region. I have put the website address here. And as you can see in this picture, this is the field for the 2022 and 2023 game Slapshot. I'm going to show you a video about the Slapshot. Let's see this video.
Welcome to the 2022-2020.
Hi, Flora. Sorry, we're not able to hear the video.
Oh, wait. What?
We're not able to hear the video.
Let's see. Okay. So maybe Kelsey can send this video to the chat box, and the teachers can watch it after this presentation. Can you hear me right now?
Yes. Not able to hear the video. Yeah, I will send it to the chat box. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's move to the next part. Last but not least, I'm gonna navigate you through other available teacher resources. This is also very important. And first is VEX STEM Library. The VEX STEM Library is an online resource with over 700 useful articles about educational robotics. It provides information to help educators implement VEX in their learning environment. Articles cover a wide variety of topics ranging from targeted step-by-step guides to help teachers to set up and use VEX materials such as how to build a drivetrain for IQ robot or pair a robot with VEX code, to more complex articles on teaching strategies and the research that drives our curriculum. For example, let me show you this website here. So can you see my screen? Yes, here you can find all the STEM library articles. We have a lot of useful articles here. As you can see, we have IQ education starts here, get started with VEX IQ second generation. And we have all these articles about electronics and mechanicals. So this is a very useful resources for teachers. Okay, let's back to the PowerPoint. Okay, next one is educator certification. We offer free online and self-paced training that helps educators at all different ability levels for all of our robotics platforms. By the end of the VEX Certified Educator Program, you will be fully prepared to implement educational robotics and become a technology and innovation leader within your school and community. The VEX certification system also allows competition volunteers and event partners to demonstrate competency in various aspects of running a competition. And then as the PD Plus, Professional Development Plus. VEX PD Plus is a community learning platform that enables educators to learn from and interact with experts in classroom and competitive robotics. What's more, it includes the ticket to the annual VEX Educator Conference held at the VEX Robotics World Championship in the US. You will have a chance to participate in this exciting networking event. That's all for my presentation. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Flora.
Thank you.
Any questions about VEX IQ or any about our teacher resources? I've already typed all the teacher resources, the websites, in the chat box. All our resources are free. Let me share my screen. I just wanted to share with you what Flora has mentioned about our free teacher resources website, education.vex.com. I already put it in the chat box. In the education.vex.com, you can select any platform and all our resources are available there. For example, if you click into VEX IQ, you would be able to see this. The website is really easy to navigate. If you want to see the pacing guide, usually that's a good starting point for you to plan your curriculum, plan your lesson. If you click into the accumulative pacing guide, you would be able to see the summary of different units. As Flora mentioned, we provided you with different sets of pacing guides. If you want to teach your lesson like engineering focus, you can choose, those lessons, talk about engineering. And if you want to focus on physics, you can choose those topics as well. So provided everything to you. Let's go back to this. If you want to know the actual lesson, the materials are there as well. For example, this unit is called Tug of War. If you click into that, you would be able to find all the detailed teaching guides and the student resources. All the resources are student-facing as well. We really recommend teachers as facilitators, as students to learn by themselves, collaboratively, not like didactic teaching. I just wanted to give you an example. If you click into the one of the lesson, you would find a lot of videos and student-facing materials there. Please feel free to navigate the website anytime. You don't need to register, anything. It's just there. It's an open resource. That's the our STEM lab. And the other thing I wanted to share with you is the activity lessons. I know Flora mentioned about that. I just wanted to show you on the website to help you navigate. Still the education.vex.com, you click into VEX IQ, and here is the activity. If you click into activities, you will be able to find a lot of activity lessons, and you can filter them by subject if you want to focus on teaching math. And if you click that, you will be able to find all the math related topics and activities there. And all the activity lessons are Google file. You can actually download it and edit it on your own and provided sample coding to you as well. Yeah, just wanted to help you navigate. And the other thing is the certification.vex.com, the teacher certificates Flora mentioned for VEX IQ. It takes about 14 hours to complete this course. There are in total of 9 units. If you want to, because today is just a 40 minutes introductory session. If you want to know more about IQ and like you want to know how to do basic movements for IQ, how to teach basic programming using IQ and programming the sensors and even troubleshooting the VEX IQ, you'll be able to find those materials in the certification. And in each unit, there is actually a unit exam, and the end of the certification course, there is a exam. And when you finish it, you will walk away with the certificate. Most importantly, after you have like study through the materials, it will help you to get started with IQ. Yeah. Hope that help you navigate all our resources. Any questions or comments? If no, then thanks a lot for your time today. And please feel free to email us. Let me share again our email address. This is our email address, apheavensales@vexrobotics.com, and this is our telephone. If you've got any questions, please email us. Thank you very much for your time again. Hope to see you next time. We will be sending you the PowerPoints and the invitation for the next webinar. The next webinar would be on EXP. That's for students ages 14 and above. Thank you very much. Yep. Thank you. Bye, everyone.